Hello, Cancer. I am Kristen, and this is Home of the Houses. Welcome home, Cancer. If at any point in this video you feel connected to me and would like to become a client of mine, you can do so by joining this link here and also in the bio. As a healer, I welcome you. Now, with all that being said, let's get into this. So, Cancer, there's a lot happening for you. You have been released, Cancer. You and the other cardinals have been released from the great weight of the Capricorn Pluto. So this year started off feeling a lot lighter, Cancer. Your relationships were challenged. Your contracts were challenged. The way in which people connected to you, understood you, saw you, were very challenged for a long period of time. You grew through your relationships, so your partnerships, your marriages expanded you, but also in some ways could have kept you stuck and or trapped. And now you are released. Some of you can be newly found single for the first time, or in partnerships that you're actually happy to have, partnerships that feel like something you've always really wanted in that way, which is very nice, Cancer. This Virgo moon, let's say, is coming in asking you to revisit the way you communicate, especially with all this Pisces activation. Pisces is in the North Node and wants us to be better to each other. Pisces wants us to understand each other, be kinder to each other, feel each other, especially as we sit in this 9-year, Cancer. This is the end, okay? This is the end of a long generational cycle of years of the same thing, especially for you. You guys could be going through a huge change in who you are at the barest bones, habits that you've had for a lifetime that are finally being looked at to be changed in that way. The way you are respecting and valuing yourself is changing, Cancer, and it's beautiful. It's a nice look on you, you know. And one of the things as well with this Virgo full moon, like I said, is closing out your communication styles. September of last year, there was an awakening to you having to understand that if you wanted a better relationship, if you wanted a better way that other people understood you or saw you in the world, that you had to reevaluate the way you communicated who it is that you are, the way you communicated your identity. And it brought up old things from the past. It brought up a lot of old identities that you've worn and the different times that you were trying to understand yourself and grow in yourself. You guys are so governed by your beautiful emotions that a lot of the time you can take on different personalities, you know, through the process of you growing and moving with what you feel. You can be the kind of people that don't get nearly enough credit for being adventurous in the way it is that you experience the world. And doing it from a space that is emotional and not intellectual or ego driven, but really and truly just feeling other people in the world or feeling different perspectives and kind of taking them on from a very authentic and emotional space. And so during this time period from September on, you guys have had to revisit the old you in order to find where the new you can exist. And it's been beautiful in terms of being able to expand yourself. And this Virgo full moon is closing out the misaligned identity, let's say perception that people had of you, that the people around you could have seen, or again, your close quarters or your close relationships, feeling like you did not communicate yourself well, which is very nice, Cancer. As we finish out the month, we have a lot of Aries activation as well, Aries being retrograde in Venus and coming in retrograde in Mercury. And then at the end of the month, it shifts into Pisces. So with this Aries energy in specific, it's tense. It's not necessarily a space that you're so comfortable with. But Aries is very good to you, Cancer, because wherever Aries is, it always asks you to be more passionate and more powerful in yourself, just like what happened with Mars being in your sign as Mars started itself in retrograde for this year. When it comes to you, you guys have had to understand your own masculinity, your own personal empowerment, your own identity, and how you're going to stand on that when it comes to how you want to be in the world and how you want to show up in the world, and the ways in which other people are going to take that in. Okay, Cancer. Hello. Here is your reading for the rest of the month of March. And Cancer, what I see here is, there's a lot going on in terms of your emotions, Cancer. We see you here really strong with yourself as the King of Cups. Next to that, you have the Temperance, Sagittarian energy. And this is rooted in the Nine of Cups. So this feels very emotionally fulfilling. When you're in your state of the King of Cups, Cancer, it's a very good place for you, because emotional control is where you thrive. You thrive when you're able to feel very strong and stable in your own skin as the King of Cups, as the King of Water, not feeling washed away, not feeling wounded, not feeling overwhelmed by what it is that you feel, but actually feeling very stable and strong within yourself. So this is a nice energy for you. With it sitting next to the Temperance, there's a lot of peace, there's a lot of balance, there's a lot of desire for equilibrium here. You're moving these waters, Cancer. And so the way in which you're balancing and moving the waters around you, it seems like your biggest focus for the remainder of the month and March is about the way in which you will emotionally navigate, the way you will emotionally regulate and control things through you being able to show where your water is. The Temperance is a Sagittarius energy, so it's still fire, but it's all rooted in water. It's all, you see the cups here. We've got cups, cups, cups. And the Nine of Cups is also you as well. You, when you're able to look back at what it is that you've created for yourself, Cancer. So it seems that you're feeling empowered and you're feeling really strong within yourself because of the ways in which you've been able to manifest from emotional balance, emotional regulation, emotional also stimulation for yourself as well. You're feeling stable and you're creating from that space. You're manifesting from that space. You are getting your wish fulfillments from that space, which is very good in terms of the subject of what is going on. However, next to that, we've got the Hammer and the Chaser backing those things up. So it seems very clear to me that you're chasing something that does not want to be caught. Some of you can be chasing someone that does not want to be caught. And there's a journey between sabotage and what it is that you are hyper focused on. You need to understand balance, Cancer. So this month is interesting because there is this, it's like you're succeeding in one place and then also chasing after something else that isn't necessarily filling you. So this can find you struggling maybe in your relationships, but progressing in terms of your practical life, or wanting to bring in, your wish fulfillments. Really, like, so many things are manifesting for you, so many things are being created for you, that the things that are like resisting you, that you yourself are chasing after, you yourself are clawing after, fears of abandonment, fears of loss, and doing the best that you can to work toward those things, to work on those things that you feel like you have been missing, really chasing after your goals in that way. But again, it's your goals are not in the pinnacle world this time around. It's more about you want this emotional fulfillment. You want these cups to be filled in terms of your Nine of Cups, and you're doing so in a way where I'm proud of you, because you are coming from a space of empowerment. You're coming from a space of strength when it comes to this, but you still are chasing after something that isn't chasing after you, or that you feel like is something that's out of reach, but you're doing it very, really diligently, and you're doing it very well, which leads me to believe that you're succeeding at this. Even though it's a process, even though it's a journey. So in the shadow here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I believe we have the 8 of Wands here in reverse and upheaval underneath there. So In your shadow, we see that again, you're afraid that what it is that you want and are deeply desiring is not going to come into fruition. It is, you want it fast. That's another thing, Cancer. What it is that you're going after, you're working at it persistently, and it's like this fear that it's not going to come together at the same pace that you are wanting it to come together. You guys are really running toward, again, your manifestations, running towards your fulfillments, and you're feeling stronger. So you're feeling more balanced, and you feel like you can, you know where to pour your cup versus where not to pour your cup in this strong space. But again, it's this other side of like chasing after things in that way, right? So the fear is yeah, what can you get done? And this stalling, or again, this stagnancy, or just not being able to pull in what it is that you want at the rate that you want to pull it in. Some of you are even just afraid that it's not going to come to you altogether, especially since we have upheaval at the bottom. So you're afraid that everything that you have been working toward, desiring, feeling within you is just going to come crashing down. Like something is going to happen. It's going to stop, like, because you're pulling in so much and you're manifesting so much and you're creating so much, and it's like the fear is that it's going to hit a wall and it's all going to come crashing down. It's going to just peak, boom, fall. And as it crawls down, and as it crashes down, and everything is destroyed, you're left then picking up the pieces of your emotional body, and you're doing a very good job with your emotional body for the remainder of the month. So it makes sense that you fear this. This is also a major here. We've got major arcanas going in, both the subject and also the shadow, so that lets me know that there's a balance here. You feel equally worried as you do progressive. And it's not, you feel like you're doing this really well, though. You feel like you're managing this really, really well, despite how much you're afraid of it. When we go into your advice, we've got conscious connections with shock of the new. So you're being advised to focus on the connections that heal you, that evolve you. So again, a lot of this has to do, not all of this is about love for many of you. This is things that you're running toward. A lot of this can also just be your manifestations, period. So all aspects of what it is that you're pulling in. I wouldn't say you're quote unquote working so hard, Cancer. It's more like you're creating so hard, you're manifesting so hard, you're pulling things into you. Conscious connections, pull into that which pulls into you. Okay, be aware of the reality of who it is that you're investing in. Focus on the connections that serve you the most, the connections that have the most substance in that way. And then your advice is also shock of the new. So be aware of the fact that things are also changing, and desire that change, pull in that change. So don't chase after those that are not interested in you, and know what it is that you need to work toward and what it is that you need to let go. This is not a month to focus on cutting off people or wielding swords. It's more like water that which is already watering you in that way, Cancer. Know where to put your energy, your temperance right now. You're strong, because I love seeing you, Cancer, when you're in a space that you are on top of those emotions and your emotions are giving you power. And so as you're feeling like this king in this way, navigating your waters with the temperance, knowing where to have peace and balance, knowing what to pour into and what not to pour into, it goes with who it is that you are around. Okay, Cancer, it's not about cutting people off. It's about pouring into the right places. And shock of the new lets me know that it's like, how many of you have been pouring into the wrong places, especially when we're sitting here with Chaser here, right? Pour in, and I keep repeating it, it's like pour into the right places, and it'll shock you. It will. Shock of the new. You have to let in new experiences, and you have to let in potentially new people, and a new narrative, Cancer, a new reality, a new narrative, a new way in which you relate to yourself in specific, and how you then go on to relate to others. You have to let in the new, where you don't necessarily cut off the old, but it's just like you support the new, you nurture the new, you focus on the new. And as you continue to do that, again, this 9 of Cups energy that you've been floating on, this beautiful King of Cups energy, this empowerment that you've been floating on, this peace, this balance, can outweigh this feeling of like, again, running into doors that just, frankly, there isn't anything on the other side. There isn't anything growing in those spaces. When we go to the healing points here, both of them are also beautiful. I don't want you guys to get worried in terms of what it is that I'm saying, Cancer, because there is so much beauty here in terms of what's going on with you. But the issue here is really just you versus your old way. You know, you're in such a good place. You're in such a solid, strong place, and you're authentically in that place. You're not. We see here all of these cups. You're not in a space where you're trying to be another king or another queen in that way. You are yourself, and it's you're watching your life flourish while you are stable and comfortable in your own way of doing things, your own way of creating, manifesting, and pulling things in. And this is coming from a deep sense of love. And I love seeing this for you. So it's like you have to break up with the old you in terms of the ways in which you work too persistently at empty doors or things that don't give you proper returns on investments, Cancer. So the first thing here when we come to the healing point is an earth energy. And underneath that, we have a fire energy. But the earth energy I like because there is no other earth on here. And Cancer, I always feel like you need a little bit of ground, like your opposite Capricorn. When things are asking you to ground yourself, put things into the practical manifestation. You shall overcome all obstacles. Simple, Cancer. Simple. Success is imminent, so stay connected to your path no matter what and continue to apply yourself. Allow your spiritual path to support you in all areas of your life. Live by your spiritual beliefs. Seek out the spiritual support of your brothers and sisters when needed. But also trust that you are intimately and directly connected to the powerful divine light that lives within. There can be a dramatic healing breakthrough when you rely upon your spiritual connection. So the biggest thing here, Cancer, and this one here, I'll read it for you as well, but it's pretty much the 888. It's the confirmation that comes from the energy of Leo, from the divinity of understanding the blessing that comes in from the divine when you're moving from the space of the heart. These are both beautiful, powerful omens. Okay, you are, I don't want to say you're on fire, Cancer, because you're being yourself. You're not on fire. You're in progressive oceanic movement. You're not the crab sitting in still water. You're allowing the water to move. You're allowing there's a flow here. Things are churning here. There's clear water because it's in motion. Okay. And this feels very good. Like the energy, it feels good. Even inside of myself, it's like it feels like movement. There's a success here. There's growth here. There's expansion here. But you continue to expand the more you focus on, again, the connections that are conscious, the people that heal and serve you, that are part of the reason why you are allowing yourself to be in this energy, this tempered, balanced, full manifestation, full creation, self-love, self-acceptance kind of energy. And really diving into putting an end to this chaser dynamic, right? This space where you are dealing with this fear of abandonment and codependency and this emptiness. It's finally letting go. You're cutting ties with those emotions. Let's just say that. And it's happening naturally. It is, especially as you fear things not happening and movement are not happening as quickly as you want them to, and fear of things coming down. There's nothing that's going to crash underneath your feet here, Cancer. Okay, so what it is that you fear has been confirmed over here, that success is imminent and you're already moving toward what it is that you desire. You're already there. There's nothing to fear there. It's just a matter of, when we talk about relying on your spiritual brothers and sisters for Cancer, that is simply saying to you to trust in the way in which you are forming this new reality for yourself. Let's say trust in the way you are bringing forth your manifestations and the creations that are around you. Your heart has a heightened connection with the higher realms of consciousness and light. A blessing, empowerment, and positive omen shall enter your world. Doors will open for you. Abundance and prosperity are headed your way. Take care of your heart. Again, asking for spiritual assistance and it shall be granted. Something negative is going to transform into something positive. So again, we go back into the same space. It's just a very beautiful message, Cancer. It's a very healed message. It's a very expansive message. At the bottom of that deck, though, we had the sacred scar. Next to that was Vova of Sidir, which is about understanding how not to control the things around you, but to go within the self and bring positive influence inside of yourself to create the world around you, to bring positive influence to bear. But it's also married with the sacred scar, okay, which lets me know there is some kind of pain that you are healing through. That's the overarching energy of the healing point. So it's like, okay, you want to succeed. You're getting all these positive omens about you being able to get what it is that you want and expand and evolve in what it is that you want. But at the same time, it's like you're healing this relationship with the wound that sits inside of your chest. And instead of trying to control it, and most of this has to do with this chaser energy for you guys. What does it mean to chase after things that feel like they're not actually chasing back? What does it mean to deal with and understand this feeling of abandonment as you're pulling in the things that you desire for yourself and the manifestations you want for yourself, and the way in which your cups are being filled in that sense? And so it's like dealing with this. You're healing your relationship with your own scars when you understand that you are going to succeed regardless. When you're understanding that this beautiful positive energy is on its way to you, but it comes from letting in the new. The new has to outweigh the old. And the conscious connections, again, the people that serve, the relationships that serve, putting your energy toward the things that serve as well is where you allow yourself to heal that relationship with the things that have wounded you. It's like you're already progressing. You're progressing so much, but inside of you sits that, it's not like a hole. It's just a wound. It's an old wound, right? As you step out of your own wounds, you turn your wounds into wisdom. You're learning how to stop trying to control the things around you. But again, this water that is like freshly moving through you is healing the things around you without you putting in so much force to chase behind them, to actually put yourself in a position that is keeping you on your knees. You know, it's stepping out of that and standing up and just kind of allowing this joy and this happiness that's kind of moving through you. But it doesn't feel like a big joy where like sun energy. It just feels like a contentment with you. A contentment inside of the heart and a contentment going on within the emotional body. At the bottom of the advice deck, we've got the word wants to be written as the overarching energy. So again, the word of your new reality, okay? The word of your new life. What it is that you are trying to bring into fruition for yourself. Break up, separation, stop the pattern. Yeah. And this is the biggest thing for you. It's like stopping the negative patterns that you have had with your emotions tied to other people, situations that created imbalances, situations that made you feel abandoned, situations that did not serve you in that way. It's like you're ending the pattern and you're healing and you're progressing forward with a lot of success and a lot of movement, which is beautiful. And that's where, again, the sacred scar is allowing itself to be healed, because you're finally understanding, Cancer, that it was within you the entire time. And so that the healing that you needed, or the things that you wanted to see on the outside, could have existed on the outside. But again, you move through water, Cancer. Okay. You are not a master of the pentacles. That you can be a master of anything, a master of all, right? But this is just focused on Cancer energy. It's like you evolve when you allow the art of manifestation to come into fruition. And the art of manifestation says that is within. What is within is what it is that can pull anything from the outside into it, mastering the relationship with water. When you healed your relationship with your emotions, Cancer, that's when you shifted the narrative. That's when you put yourself in a space of more empowerment. Okay? Focus on the people, places, and things that are conscious, right? The newer energies, the newer perspectives. Release your relationship and your attachment to the old. All right, so at the bottom of the shadow deck, what do we have here? Ah, look at that, baby. We have the Ten of Swords in reverse. Okay, so again, the fear that you are carrying, along with fear that you're not going to get what it is that you desire, that everything's going to come crashing down on your head, is that the 10 swords are still going to remain open in that way. Like sometimes the beauty of the 10 of swords in, let's say, in a subject or advice places, is that the 10 of swords can easily be like understanding, okay, you know what? I've been through all this pain. All of these things have happened. This has hurt so much, but it's over, right? In this case, because we have the 10 of swords, the 10 of cutlass sitting in reverse, Cancer, it's this fear that pain will continue, that this is almost that it's just beginning, right? All the things that you've already gone through, the things that have already hurt, that there isn't an end point here. In fact, there are more swords that can fall down on you. Let that go. Look at, well, Cancer, at the bottom of the tarot deck, we have the Lovers. So for many of you, this can be your love relationship. This can be based on what it is that you're trying to create when it comes to love relationships, people around you, who serves you, who doesn't serve you, the baby with the bathwater kind of decisions. And especially when we have this sitting next to the Temperance, this being a major arcana, the two coming together about balance in your relationships. Who do you love? Who loves you? How do you choose each other? So this entire reading is pretty much rooted in who is in your life. Who is in your life, how they are in your life, and how you two come together. So let's do how you should be thinking, feeling, doing, being. Thinking, feeling, doing, being for the remainder of this month, Cancer. Thinking, feeling, doing, being. Hold on one second, Cancer. I had a fall. All right, thinking, feeling, doing, being. And at the bottom of that, we see the Six of Pentacles married next to the Judgment. Okay, so again, equal give and takes. Thinking, King of Pentacles. Feeling, the Wheel of Fortune. Doing, being. Wow, okay. So when we see what it is that you need to be thinking, Cancer, you need to be focused on the other king, the king that marries next to you as the King of Yin, the King of Pentacles. You need to be on your mind focused on, let's say, how to be more stable, how to be more abundant in yourself. The beauty of the King of Pentacles when he shows up for you, Cancer, in terms of your advice, is being stronger in what it is that you feel, stronger in your convictions in that sense. What is the most abundant outcome for you? What is the most successful outcome for you when you go beyond your emotions, okay? Especially because, like I said, all of this for you guys is rooted in your relationships of all kind, your social dynamics of all kind, Cancer. And what is the most abundant outcome? The King of Pentacles, when his confidence, what I love about the King of Pentacles and his confidence is the fact that it's not just coming from a space of ego. It's not just coming from a space of pride or his beliefs or his emotions. The King of Pentacles combines all three. And he looks at the practicality of his life around him and he says, what is actually going to serve me on a deeper level in terms of substance? Who is giving me substance? Who is providing substance in my life? And how can I succeed now moving forward? This is especially big again because dealing with relationships and understanding choices that you're making about your social dynamics and who it is that is around you, you want a more abundant future for yourself now, Cancer, especially because you're in your element. You're feeling good as who you are now. So as you're feeling good as who you are, you're owning yourself as this King of Cups. You want to have a more abundant, tangible future. You want your happiness, those cups, to be manifested in the practical because you're going through so much manifestation and pulling in what it is that you need from an emotional space that it's like what's on your mind is how this is going to manifest itself in reality. And that's what you need to be focused on. Does that relationship serve you? Does this person serve you? What is going to benefit your actual practical, tangible future? And it's coming from a strong, masculine place, a firm place like the King of Pentacles, a man that does not play about what it is that will happen in his life. Let's just say that. What is it you need to be feeling is the Wheel of Fortune. So again, change, great change on a very positive level. Okay. You are changing, Cancer. You're changing at a great rate as you are healing and having those waters churn inside of your heart, having those waters churn inside of your energy. The water is getting more fresh, less stagnant in that way. So you need to be feeling in a space where you're understanding that what it is that you are choosing, what it is that you are pulling into you is all about a place of, let's say, happiness, great change that is beneficial, change that maybe has been long overdue or long needed, that the decisions that you make are ones that are going to bring about great transformation. You're desiring happy outcomes. You're desiring great change for better outcomes. What is it you need to be doing? And this is married next to the Two of Wands because it's a major arcana in terms of what is it you need to be feeling. So the majors sit with what it is what you need to be feeling and who it is that you need to be. Okay, because we've got feeling with the Wheel of Fortune and being with the Star. And I'm going to get there in terms of what it is that you need to be being. But in the middle, we've got doing in terms of you just being able to move forward. So your focus needs to be moving forward at all costs. The Two of Wands is about going on your path, steering it, and going toward it, right? Passionately, in a sense of fire, in a sense of passion, moving forward in your life diligently. So you need to take action on what it is that you want for yourself, Cancer, and not allow yourself to get stuck in anything. And I can't see you guys doing that because the water feels very fresh. So it's not those like kind of muddy, moody waters that you can kind of get stuck in or complacent in, because you are feeling Wheel of Fortune, because you want to continue to turn that wheel in the ocean, right? You want to see that boat change, and it's for this passionate, I guess, more beautiful reality for yourself, right? Because you're being more serious about the practicality of what it is that you want. And then this leaves us with being, with the beautiful Star. And as the Star sits here, it's like Cancer. The Star is the Aquarian energy. And it's all about understanding that you are the Star. You are healed. You are the healer. You are special. You are deserving, and you are you're deserving the desires that you have for yourself. It's knowing knowing how special you are. In very simple terms, I am the Star. And as the Star, what is beautiful about the Star as well, better than, no, say better, I take that back, other than other energies, right? Like the Empress or the Sun, is the Star knows that it's unique. And the Star doesn't want to be anything other than itself. And there's something very beautiful, honest, and pure about that. And so as you're sitting in this more clear water, like I said, a lot of this has to do with self-acceptance, self-love, and then manifesting from your true honesty, from your truth, right? And it's how you embrace that, especially because this Star card has the moon here, and you are the master of the moon. When you are navigating from a space of your true emotions, of your true authenticity, Cancer, you thrive in ways that are out of this world, ways that are very beautiful. And you create from that emotional space. Okay, so, and you also are desiring to heal. The biggest thing for you for the remainder of the month is I am the healer, right? And through that, I will create the newness of what it is that I desire and what it is that I want. So that's what I have for you, Cancer. Yeah, I love you. Ciao.